What's up, YouTube? Gabe here with ReviewDork, and I just want to follow up on a video that I did yesterday, trades versus the Wolf on Wall Street, because in the comment section, I got some comments. I took the good with the bad. Thank you all for your love and support. But the negative comments like, dude, you're reaching. So let me just give you a backstory on what I do, how I trade, and how I like to consider myself very level-headed. In fact, I'm a Libra. October 1st is my birthday. Needless to say, I never got birthday gifts on time because people were too caught up paying the mortgage in Iran, right? So for me, always celebrated my birthday October 8th, right? Anyways, I really want to share with you pretty much my own personal thesis on how I trade, right? And I trade with a very rigid, systematic, just a protocol, right? So when I trade, I'm looking for stocks where the 20-day moving average is crossing above the 200-day moving average. And if it's near an arm's length of its 52-week high, I'm paying very close attention. It has my attention, right? I then start looking at volume, and then I look at the news. What is the catalyst? From there, I look at the MACD and the RSI to see my entry and my exit, and I'm in and I'm out, right? My pullout game is strong as hell because my risk to reward ratio is 1-to-3, right? So for every $1 I'm willing to risk, I'm looking to gain up to $3, right? So that is how I invest. Now, I want to talk about AMC because I do have a personal story with AMC. I jumped in on AMC when all of those variables were confirmed back when AMC made the run to 20 bucks. And I jumped in at about $14, right? A little late to the party. I was busy making money elsewhere, right? But I jumped in and I started breaking rules. Rule number 1, don't hold the stock overnight as a day trader. Make sure you exit all of your positions, right? And so I broke that rule. This was when the rug got pulled out from underneath all of our feet because Robinhood decided that, it wanted to be a Gemini, right? By the way, John Weeble, just saying. What had happened with Robinhood and all the other brokers limiting buying just piqued my interest. I'm like, I've never seen anything like this. I paper-handed that stock and threw it in the toilet and said, okay, game over, that's fine. I'll make up my losses elsewhere, which I did. But in that time, there was something in the back of my head and I'm like, something's not right. Something doesn't feel right. Then, when I saw one of the major players, BlackRock, I said to myself, oh, wow, okay, this is serious. And I remember BlackRock having a sizable position in United Airlines. I believe it was something like 6%. So to see that name, it just gave me some level of comfort. Like, okay, BlackRock is an institutional investor. What's really going on, right? And so we know how this works when shorts are like, hey, this company is going to go bankrupt. Let's go ahead and make our money all the way. Let's bring this stock all the way down to a cent. Let's get it to listed. Let's make it bankrupt, right? There's a lot of money to be made as a short, as a hedging. But like I said, when I saw that BlackRock was invested in AMC, things just started I don't know, my brain just started going. And I live in Central Florida and a lot of people like to come down and visit me, right? And they're like, hey, Gabe, we got to get out of New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, states that were severely locked down. And they want to come down to Florida for their mental health and, we'd pick them up from the airport. And the first question I would ask them is, how was your flight? And, with so much exuberance, they were like, my God, that plane was packed. Really? What do you mean? Is United Airlines breaking all of the CDC guidelines of 6 feet separation, et cetera, et cetera? I'm like, whoa, wait a second. What's going on here? Really? They're packed? Yeah, they're packed. Okay. So then I start looking at empirical data and I start looking at all the airlines and back in May, you guys can go ahead and check this out yourself, open up the charts. The federal government went ahead and bailed out the airlines, right? So every airline from Southwest to United to Delta, American Airlines, you started seeing a reversal, right? Now, I want you guys to really think about what I just said. We started to see a reversal. Although we were still in the middle of a pandemic and the airline industry is a low margin industry that will burn through cash faster than a hooker can burn through your back pocket. And we're talking about $1.5 billion a month. Now, fundamentally, this did not make sense. It does not make sense, right? So now, when we hear the news and the media saying that AMC and GameStop is not fundamental, when we hear Tesla's not fundamental, Tesla should be trading at $150, right? Based on future earnings per share. AMC, they have to compete with streaming and you know, Disney and all the such. Now, of course, the hedgies aren't going to short a company or a private firm such as Delta, United, American Airlines after they just received government bailout money. I mean, that is a stupid bet. You know, so hey, the airlines are spared because the airlines are in bed with the government. But AMC, oh, no. We're going to short AMC, right? And I believe AMC has about 4,000 full-time employees and about 34 to 36,000 part-time employees, right? 40,000 employees in total, yet AMC did not ask the government for a bailout. I do have 1,800 shares. I do have conviction. Tell you, I paper-handed the first time. I'm diamond-handing the second time because this is much bigger. Let's really look at the 500 million share dilution from both ways, and I really want to do this in a level-headed manner. If you were my landlord and I said, hey, look I have 10 shares and they're worth $1. You want to take these? I mean, we have some potential if you just have enough, long-term vision, right? Can you take these? And these shares will be worth, $200 at some point. Now, in the moment when AMC is looking to negotiate the debt to equity swaps, they have to make sure that the stock looks juicy enough for someone to say, all right, yeah, we can do that, right? I'm not really worried about that. And I really feel that, it becomes glamorized by the media and then, creates that FUD and just really distracts us from what looks to be inevitable, which is the squeeze. And guys, let's focus on the squeeze and only the squeeze, right? I really feel that the 500 million share dilution comes afterwards, and rightfully so. If AMC does have a higher share price to allow it to leverage itself and to wipe out some debt and restructure their leases, by all means, right? And then what do? Right? We made a couple of $1 million and then we reinvest in AMC because now that long-term outlook is healthy. And so again, we have to look at it both sides, right? So if AMC diluted today, yes, we'd probably be screwed, but that's not in the best interest of AMC, right? I don't think any executive would be willing to play that poker card right now. You're just not going to play that card. No, not right now, right? If the share goes up to 30, I could see some leverage there, right? But I'm not really focused on that. And I don't think any of you guys should be focused on that. And I really think that when it comes to media, I think you should just, screw it. Don't even pay attention to it, right? Don't listen to the naysayers, right? Have conviction, right? Because if we're holding more than a month or two, I mean, that makes us investors, guys. And we look for that confirmation bias because now we are intimately invested in a company. And that was something that me as a day trader swore I would never do. If it's your first time visiting this channel, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It really helps out with the algorithms. And if you guys want more neutrality, right? Because I'm going to play both ways. I'm a lever, right? It's the scale, right? You got to, look at one position, see how it weighs against the other position. I mean, that's just really my thesis as an individual entirely. But I really do have high conviction in AMC, and I'm going to stay on top of the news. And also, if you want some recommendations, and again, I'm not a financial planner, but if you are looking for some long-term recommendations, I really want you guys to check out the airline industry because, well, big government and institutional investors surely don't want the airlines to fail, right? So, hey, that's a safe play for you. Anyways, this is Gabe with ReviewDork. Oh, and before I go, just make sure you check out Volkswagen. I'm signing out. Peace.